Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. If you would ever like to contact the show and get in touch, get involved in the conversation, you can go to, you can text us 706-889-9700, chief@fetchernews.com, and there's all the social media ways you can follow us on our YouTube channel. We always archive all of the shows here. And if you'll hit subscribe anytime we're doing a live broadcast, you will get a notification on YouTube. Now, that being said, let's move along here. Now, the President of the United States, let's go with number 31, and just briefly, we're going to touch on this. This is Imagine Dragons, okay? So we've gone from Puff the Magic Dragon to Imagining the Dragons. Magic. We've gone from Puff the Magic Dragon, who lived by the sea. All right? Remember that one? Our parents got all bent out of shape. Puff the Magic Dragon, is that about drugs? Is that drugs? We have Puff the Magic Dragon. And now we have Imagine Dragons. Who would have thought? We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. Halftime shows. Why can't you just entertain and not have to? I don't need your message, okay? So we're going to talk more about that at the end of the show. Number 54, folks, the moose out front should have told you we were closed. The moose out front should have said, hold on there. The moose out front should have said, but the moose was broken because number 53, we found Clark there trying to get into the park, and he punched the moose in the nose. The government shutdown's got people riled up. As you can see, people are all angry over this, and they can't get into the park because the park is closed, and Clark Griswold is all upset, punched the moose right there in the kisser. Number 36, I don't know what it says. Trump will visit the Texas border tomorrow on Thursday. He's going to go to Texas. Trump will be in Texas on Thursday. But tonight, the President of the United States, okay, let's just go with, just have a picture of our president up there. Okay, let's go with number 30. So, here, MSNBC at 6:17 this morning, Morning Joe, and at 6:17, they have been railing since 6 o'clock. Networks give Trump airtime to claim border is in crisis, to claim it, okay? So the President of the United States has never, and this is something somebody said to me the other day, said, you know, the President needs to address the nation, okay? Now, this is generational, so for my generation, okay, we take a presidential address serious, all right? You're supposed to come on national TV, preempt Happy Days. Oh, didn't you hate that? You know, and there was no DVR. I mean, just about time that Fonzie's going to jump the shark, the president's going to give a national address. But anyhow, all jokes aside, back then we had no DVR. Back then we could not go back and watch it later. And there was just nothing we could do. We had to watch that president. But the president would come on prime time and he would look you in the eye. That was the whole idea. From the Oval Office, you got a desk there. It's nobody but you and the President of the United States. And he looked at the American people and he stated the crisis or stated the situation and explained what needed done or what had to happen. Now, sometimes it came from the Oval Office, or sometimes it was in a room with the presidential seal. You know, as I call it, the George Bush 12 minutes and 43 seconds, whatever it is, that he came out and gave the American people only 12 minutes and 40-some seconds, that the sky was going to collapse and the banking industry and the world would end tomorrow if we didn't give King Henry Hank Paulson $800 billion. You remember that night? He come out white as a ghost, and, you know, all of a sudden there was a revelation that he knew that everything was going to collapse. and he gave you and I 12 minutes. All right. That being said, it's one of my one that sticks with me. I'm not a big George W. Bush fan. Anyhow, networks to give Trump airtime to claim border in crisis. That's tonight at 9 o'clock, I think. So it's you and the president. And we, my generation, may be older, maybe a little younger, but we take a presidential address serious. Now, my hope is that the president uses this platform that he has with the American people, and he does just that. He takes presidential address very serious, and he comes to the people and he lays out the crisis at the border as it is, as you and I know what's going on and what has to happen there for our country not to collapse internally. Now, Democrats do not want to, they want to talk about trucks that might come across the border, that we could put sensors and stop drugs coming in. They want to divert your attention away from the true crisis. Now, we don't want, our side does not want drugs coming through no matter where. And that's what kind of gets me sometimes with Democrats. If a terrorist comes in, if just one gets in, you know, they're going to emphasize that they stopped 9, but all we need is 1. And 1 is too many. Drugs get in, and no matter where they come from, they're coming in all over the place on the southern border, okay? Drugs, potential terrorists, okay? Health hazards or health problems. Whether you like it or not, if you look, there's cases, do the research of cases of tuberculosis that has come across that border. Absolutely. You don't have to like that or not, but they're showing up with illnesses, all right, at the border. There's a national crisis at our southern border. Democrats don't want to face it. Now, Republicans tried to face it in 1986 and has yet to do anything after that. Ronald Reagan attempted to handle the border crisis in 1986, and the Democrats reneged on the stopping and securing the border part. The amnesty side of 1986, they went through with that, but the stopping the flow across the border, it never happened. There has been billions of dollars since the 1986 immigration plan with Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill on the southern border. There's been billions of dollars since that time in budget after budget after budget for border security. See, this president knows this. So when we're talking $5.7 billion, it's probably not, you know, a third or even 25% of what we really need to get the job done. But this is going to be the first time. This is why Democrats, let me tell you exactly to a T, why Democrats, okay, can't handle this. Because this will be the first time that there'll truly be $5.7 billion spent. This guy knows what he's doing. It'll truly be spent on border security. Now, if you go and you look at the budgets over, let's just take 1986, Ronald Reagan, all the way up through to today, every omnibus bill, every budget has had national security money placed in the budget. But somehow, some way, it's never been spent appropriately, never done what it was allotted to do. And here's the fear the Democrats have. Is he'll actually take the 5.7 and do what he says. That's the fear. If they thought, let me just say this, if they thought they could put $5.7 billion, now take this to the bank. They used to say you could take this to the bank. If the Democrats for 1 minute think that they could take $5.7 billion and put it into a budget and give it to Trump and call it border security, even if they want to, because wait a minute. What you're hearing is, you're hearing all the clips of Democrats from years gone by saying, we need a wall. You're hearing all the clips of Democrats from years gone by saying, we need border security. You're seeing all the clips and all the the newspaper articles from years gone by where Democrats voted for money to build barriers on the southern border. So what's the big deal? Because the money was never appropriated to do what was needed to be done on the southern border. It was there. I mean, it was appropriated, but it was never used properly. Never. So what's the big deal? If they felt that this guy on the screen would get $5.7 billion, if they went to the White House today and said, Mr. President, if we throw the budget out, it's too late now, but if they'd have went a while back and said, look, Mr. President, if we throw the budget out, most of the American people never travel to the southern border. We'll get the media to do some optical illusions with a wall being built. We'll do a Hollywood stunt. We'll find 50 feet, 100 feet, and we'll keep showing pictures of a wall being built somewhere down there. Okay. Nobody will believe the little film crews that go down there that swear it's not, because it'll be internet, and we'll say, hey, that's internet conspiracy theory, whatever. Now, you may think I'm off, but there was a possibility if they would have went to him and said, look, we're going to put $5.7 billion in there. If you don't use it for the wall, we'll say it is, but don't use it. And if he'd have said, hey, I'll do just like every other president before me, nothing, they would have probably put some money in there for him. But here's the thing, is he's going to do something with it. And that's their problem. Trust me, not giving him the 5.7 is not the problem. He's going to do what he said with the 5.7 because the money's been in there before. So here it is. Now listen, let me get to this, all right? Getting off track here. Look at the bottom. Networks give airtime to claim border in crisis, all right? The media is bent out of shape today. They are going crazy over the networks, all right? At first, the network said they're not going to give him time for a political stunt or, to get a political agenda for his political agenda. But I guess they caved, all right? But they're all going to give him the 9 o'clock slot. So what do they do? They started this morning, CNN, ABC, NBC, MSNBC. I watched all of them. They started that it's going to be lies. I mean, it was before the man looks in the camera at the American people, he's lying to you. They went off this morning, CNN, MSNBC, they're all going off. How can we trust what he says? It's all going to be lies. The Democrats are going nuts. They want rebuttal time because it's going to be lies. Nothing but lies. Anything he says to you tonight is a lie. And I'm telling you, and I watched the narrative, okay? I watched the narrative this morning of what they are doing. And let me see this. And give me number 38, 5 a.m. this morning, okay? Democrat rebuttal, all right? And that was at 5 a.m. on CNN. And the first thing they wanted to do this morning, all of the networks, is paint the picture that Trump's lying. Why, we haven't even heard what he's going to say. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. We know it's a lie. They went on MSNBC. They went on to do timelines of how bad the president lies, all the things he's lied about. So the Democrats want equal time. They're going nuts. And they want rebuttal. Whatever time they give the president, they want rebuttal, okay? And give me number 37. This was at 5 a.m. this morning, Democrat rebuttal. All right. And let's go with Fox. Fox carrying the water, whether you want to believe it or not. Let's go with number 34. Now, I took snapshots of this because every network came out with it this morning. demanding equal time, okay? Demanding equal time. Now that the television networks have decided to air the president's address, which if his past statements are any indication, number 35, will be full of malice and misinformation, Democrats must immediately be given equal airtime. Now, this is going to be a national disgrace tonight for the simple reason I don't know who will do it first. I don't know if ABC, NBC, CBS, I don't know if the networks will do it. We call them the networks. All right, and MSNBC, if they will do it, but there's going to be one or two, and I suspect CNN, there's going to be some live rebuttal. They're going to set up, somebody is going to air this and do live rebuttal as the president's actually speaking. Remember, Joe Scarborough did that when the president was somewhere giving a speech overseas at one time. He did live rebuttal, okay? Watch and see what happens. They're demanding equal airtime, saying the president will do nothing but lie, okay? I'm going to give you CNN. All right, CNN, and we're going to do this first. This is number 49. I don't know if I just showed this, but Democrats demand equal time. CNN started right out of the gate this morning with it. CNN will take Democrats' response to Trump's address live. So CNN has already committed equal time for the Democrats, okay? Because, and I'm telling you, you got to pay attention this morning, because what will happen, okay, and what has already happened is all day long the media is doing, the deep state media is doing everything to convince you that no matter what, and when I say you out there, I'm talking about the people that are out working today that get that 30-second top of the hour on a radio somewhere, okay? Or get that, you know, or listening to Imagine Dragons in the office over the intercom, and it's now top of the hour. In ABC News break, top of the hour, the president will give a Oval Office address tonight. Democrats are asking for equal time to rebut what they feel will be mistruths and lies from the president. So you get home and why would you sit down at 9 o'clock and watch a guy when everywhere you turn today, you will be told that everything he says is a lie, and they are helping carry the water, okay? Democrats demand equal time. Now here is the same thing, but the CNN carried that water this morning, all right? Number 50, same thing. Now that the television networks have decided to air the president's address with his past statements, if his past statements are any indication, and there it is, number 51. I just wanted to show you CNN's doing the same thing, carrying the water. Number 52, Nadler, number 52, right there, 5:04 a.m. He come out, and he blatantly, if you listen to Jerry Nadler, called the president a liar. He says the president lies to the American people all the time. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting what these people are doing. The president lies all the time to the American people. He's not to be trusted. This is Jerry Nadler, and he is the Democrat Judicial Committee chairman. See how that has changed? Judicial Committee chairman right there. Jerry Nadler. Well, the president lies to the American people all the time. So if the chairman of the Judicial Committee has just already determined that the president does nothing but lie, obviously when he starts playing his little investigation games, he'll have a predetermined outcome that the president's a liar no matter what goes through his committee. All right, Jerry Nadler there. And, you know, and I showed on MSNBC, I think I showed it this morning. Let me see if there's anything else before I take a break, because I want to go through something else here today. It's very important to me that I want to get out. this is the narrative. Let's go to number 29. Number 29. And if you look, this is Minka. They started at 6:05 this morning. They spent 30 minutes calling a lie. New data erodes administration's case for border wall. You see, this is what they come on and they talk of what a liar is, and new data erodes administration's case for border wall. Okay? And I'll go into that in just a minute. Tonight will air number 23. They are doing everything. Now, MSNBC did everything this morning. CNN has done the same thing in the other networks. But basically, MSNBC took the lead this morning with Joe and Minka demanding that the networks not air this. They are demanding you don't hear what the President of the United States has to say. I'm serious. I mean, they're gone nuts over there that the networks need to pull this, that the ratings are not as high as you think they're going to be. And Joe Scarborough and several of them, if you know in advance your witness is going to perjure themselves. This is what was said. Now, it's not quote, but it is. I don't want to mess it up, but this is exactly what they were saying this morning. If you know your witness is going to perjure themselves, why would you put them on the stand? And Joe Scarborough even said this. He said, network executives, you know the President of the United States is going to lie to the American people. Why would you put him on TV? I don't know, networks. Why did you put Johnson on TV? Why did you put Nixon on TV? Why did you put Clinton on TV? Huh? Why'd you put Clinton? Why'd you put Barack Obama on TV? I don't know. But if you know in advance that your witness is going to perjure himself when he gets on the stand, why would you put your witness on the stand? So Joe Scarborough looks at the camera and says, network executives out there knowing this man will come lie to the American people, you have a duty to end this. Oh, they have done everything. They're screaming all day long. Look at here. To air or not to air, networks face pressure over broadcasting Trump's immigration address. Why would the networks of this country face pressure, okay, to not broadcast this? Why? Why can't the President of the United States come on and say how he plans to correct the issue at the border? Why? Because the American people will be okay with that. What if he puts the Democrats on the spot tonight and says, I will take $5.7 billion. I will give so many thousand DACA people enrolled in DACA. I will give them work visas. I will grant a pathway. I will grant a pathway to change, getting into the country so that you can, for humanitarian. What if he just says something decent? What if he looks at the camera and is presidential? What if the American people agree or accept what he says tonight? I mean, this is a Brett Kavanaugh move. This is a stopping. Okay? Remember when the Democrats were doing anything they possibly could to stop Brett Kavanaugh from going forward? Anything they could. This is the move as far as the networks. And talking to you about the crisis in this country that face us. What if the president exposes some things that the Democrats don't want the American people to hear? As of early Monday evening, CBS, ABC, Fox, and NBC have decided to air the president's address. MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News are also planning to air the speech. And they are going nuts over it. Absolutely crazy about who's going to air this speech and why it should be taken off TV and why the President of the United States should not get a chance to talk to the nation. Why? Because the picture they have painted about the border, the picture they have painted about the lack of crisis that they claim, the picture that they've painted may be exposed tonight by the President of the United States with the American people. They can't risk that. I'm going to go deeper into that. I want to go into what this shutdown has really exposed. And the Democrats want to have a response. Can you imagine today what that group is like, fighting on who gets to do the response? I mean, can you? I mean, I bet you that is they're going to get their response. They're going to go out and do it, okay? All right. Now, the State of the Union response. Don't get confused, okay? I don't know. You can look it up. You can Google it and send me a message over the commercial break. But I don't know that there's ever been an address to the nation that had a response. I don't know a Democrat response to it. Okay. See, when the president addresses the nation, he's addressing the Democrats in your district. If he's a Republican, he's addressing the Democrats in your district. He's the president of everybody. All right. And the Democrats are coming out and say, oh, for those of you that this is not your president, which that really upset them when Barack Obama was president, that they would hear or even think that, well, Republicans should respect him as their president. But that's changed now. It's all changed. Okay? Now you have a Democrat response to the State of the Union address. And I understand that. Let's say I understand that and just leave it go. But they do. They have a Democrat has a response to the State of the Union address. Okay? And that's gone on for years, whether you think it's right or wrong. But a response to an Oval Office addressing the nation to say, look, the guy that was just on there, he is President of the United States. I know you saw the seal on the desk hanging up behind you. I know it said underneath President of the United States, but he's a no good piece of garbage liar. The guy's a liar. He's nothing but a liar. Let us clear up what lies he just told you. How are we figuring out we're living in a divided nation and we're trying to work towards unifying? Yeah, let's have a Democrat response. Wonder who will give that response tonight. I'm going to take a brief break and we'll be back right after these messages.